Hello and welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Kaleia and this is another episode of my knitting podcast. Today, it's kind of been a while since I last filmed an episode. I got back from school and so I've been on vacation for a little while. I've been having a nice summer and right now I'm filming kind of at nighttime, so I'm actively losing light. So I'm going to try to keep this very brief, but I have a lot of exciting things to share and hopefully the lighting won't be too bad. I think it's okay right now, but yeah, I'll try to turn the brightness up if it gets worse, but we'll see. I have a lot of finished sewing projects as well that are related to knitting. So project bags, I've made 3, which I'm really excited to share. And then I finished one top and started a few new really exciting projects that I've mentioned in previous episodes, so I'm really excited to get into that. Before I start, I will mention what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my key cardigan, which is a Petit Knit pattern, which I made in lima, drops lima and Cascade Alpakka Lace, and then this one is, the white is lima with Alpakka Folgetrad. That was kind of a handful, but I'm really happy with this cardigan and I love wearing it, so that's why I'm wearing it today. So to get right into it, I think the one and only finished object I have that's not sewing is, oh goodness, this bag is a mess. Oh boy. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I did go to Flock, so I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. But this is the finished object. It's my tank top that I've been working on for such a long time. It's a freehanded tank top knit in one strand of alpaca lace and another strand of like lace silk. I'm trying to hold it up. It's kind of big, as in length. So it looks like this, and it's got little gatherings at the bottom with a garter stitch edge. I'll explain the construction of it. So basically I followed, well, I didn't follow any pattern, but it's basically the same construction as the Garne Slicked square knit camisole. I didn't use any measurements from that, but I kind of just found a tank top that I really liked and I thought fitted me well. And then I started knitting to what I thought was around the same shape. So I started by knitting the straps by just, I think it was like 5 stitches or so. And then I knit down. I picked up those stitches and cast on in the middle to make the neckline, and then I knit this front panel to like right here, and then I picked up and then did the same in the back with some short rows, and then joined in the round, did some waist decreases. I don't know if you can see them. Then I increased for that sort of look. And I did have a little bit more increases in the back, which had these gathers, but you can't really tell as much as it used to be because it kind of blocked out, which was something I was kind of scared of. And unfortunately, I think it did lose some of the like puffiness that the original garment had, which I'm a little bit sad about. But thinking about it, it's like I would eventually have to wash it, right? So yeah. And then I just knit stockinette. And then at the bottom, the gathers are there with some garter stitch edging, and then I just bound off. It's knit in 3mm needles. The alpaca lace is Alpakka Folgetrad, and then the fingering silk is Kinitsuji, which is a yarn store based in Kyoto. So when I'm at school, I can go there, and it's pretty affordable. So, and you get a lot of yardage. Also, there's double knitted button bands on the side, or button bands, they're just double knitted edging. So I'm really quite happy with how that looks. It really did take a long time. Honestly, the construction is not that exciting and it wasn't all that complicated, but I think looking at it from afar, it looks really smooth and nice, and it's definitely a very drapey fabric. I do find that the alpaca is a little bit scratchy, so usually I'd wear the top just like with a bra under it as a tank top, but I do find that if I wear a shirt under it that obviously the scratchiness doesn't bother me, so I might be doing that in the future, especially when it gets colder out. I'll definitely be able to wear this like over pants and stuff, but yeah. Really happy with this. Really happy with the garter stitch edging. And I'm kind of just happy that I finished it. I saw that out to the end, which is like, I don't know. Sometimes I tend to like give up halfway on things. But no, I stuck with it to the end. So round of applause for me, I guess. Now, I hope that this is still interesting for people. Let me know. Maybe it isn't for you. I do have some sewing projects that are knitting related. So it is kind of like in the knitting sphere. I've made a few project bags. I have 3 to be exact. I have this big one, this small one that I made today, and this other one that is the same. So I have 3 project bags now, which is kind of crazy. I don't have a sewing machine when I'm at school, obviously, and so when I come home, my mom has one, and she has all these supplies that cost a lot of money to like gather. It's something like over time you'll slowly gather these supplies, but my mom just has them already, which I feel really lucky for. So thank you to my mom. I guess which project bag should I start with? I'll start with the small ones. So these ones are a pattern I found, I think, on TikTok, I believe. It was from Proche. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Proche patterns. I'll leave all the links down below. But it was a Ruffle project bag. And originally they do have these like straps on the side that can like hook it so you can wear it like crossbody, which honestly I might have liked with this one, but I ran out of fabric. So, well, I didn't plan on making the straps, so that's why. But anyways, to explain the bag, it is a quilted bag that has these drawstrings. Okay, there's kind of a lot of projects in here, so I'm just gonna take them out. But this one, so I quilted the fabric, then I guess you can see the inside. There's pockets as well. And then they've got the bias tape, which I think is kind of a cool look, that it's a different color. And then you make the ruffles. And then these 2 drawstrings just seal up like that. So you have a little project bag. I think it's so cute. This one is the one that I made today. I ran out, it seems to be a really good theme, but I ran out of fabric to make the drawstring, so they're a different color. But honestly, I feel like it looks really good. I also only did pockets on one side. I also did this polka dot. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark outside now, but anyways, there's the polka dots. Only pockets on one side because I found that I don't need that many pockets. I would probably have a bag with all my other things, or I only really need like scissors and like stitch markers, I feel like. I don't need like every single needle I own or every single cable I own, so I found that this half suffices, and then you don't have to really, a lot of effort, you don't have to make as much effort to make the bag, if that makes sense. And then this one also just goes like that. If you're wondering where I got this fabric from, this I had, I guess, in stash. It was just left over from some other projects that I've done. What did I make with this? I can't even remember, but I have it. This one I bought from, and then my next bag that I'm gonna show, I bought them from Bolt Fabric in Portland. So yeah, I think they're super pretty, and I'm really excited to put all my projects in here. I feel like it's really cute. Anyways, next project bag that I have is another one. It's a bigger one. It looks like this. This is a pattern by Rosie Caldwell. She also has a YouTube channel and has a video on how to make this bag, which is super helpful even though you purchase the pattern, but then if you follow along, it's much easier to understand. I felt like when I read the pattern the first time, I was like kind of confused. I'd say I'm like a pretty beginner sewer, so if I can make it, I think anyone can make these patterns, truly. It's not anything too difficult, I think. I'd say this smaller bag is a little bit more like fiddly to make because this bottom part you have to sew and it's just so tedious, and the layers are pretty thick, so you know, there's that. But here's my project bag. It's got 2 handles, one for like carrying it like this, and then the other one for carrying it on your shoulder. And then this is kind of hard to show, not gonna lie, but it has a drawstring, which you just pull at the top, and in the inside it has a pocket, and yeah, I think that's kind of about it. This is also a quilted bag. It's not in the pattern, but I did add some extra padding into the straps. What else about it? Honestly, this was much easier to make than these smaller project bags. So if you're looking for like a project bag, I would suggest this one if you're kind of concerned if it's like hard or something. I'm not really sure, but you could also size down, like print the pattern at like, I don't know, 75% instead of 100%. And honestly, I might do that with some scrap fabric. Try that out, maybe see how that goes. But, oh, I also did make my own straps. In the pattern, it says to like buy drawstring, but I don't know, I thought it would be cute if they were the same pattern. And what is kind of cute is that one side is like one color and the other side's the other. So yeah, that's my really big project bag. I kind of really wanted one like the Petit Knit ones that are really big. So this is about the same size and I'm really happy with it. Hopefully I'll take some good photos of it and maybe post it on Instagram sometime. But yeah, that's kind of it for my finished objects, which were mostly sewing, but I feel like it's still really knitting related, so maybe that's exciting. But anyways, moving on to works in progress. I have two new works in progress, and one of them is one that I've talked about in my last podcast that I was very excited for, which are my Latvian mittens. This is what I have so far. It's been so much fun. I don't think I've had this much fun with a knitting project, maybe like ever. These are like, I can't describe how much fun these are. It's like the right amount of difficulty where it feels difficult, but it also feels easy, like it's not frustrating. This is made out of Shetland wool, so I have it in 3 colors. I think it was Harrisville. I got it from Close Knit, which is also in Portland, Oregon. And there are these 3 colors. One's a gray, one's like a neutral beige, and the other one is a red. I feel like they're showing up pretty well on camera. But this is a pattern by Code of Mittens, and I'm using 1.5 millimeter needles, which is really small. And honestly, it's not so bad. I've kind of gotten used to it. I think it took some trial and error at first to do 3 color work, especially on these tiny needles and for a mitten. But I figured out a good system, which I will share just in case you also want to make Latvian mittens and you've never made them before. So I've seen on Code of Mittens Instagram, I believe, she's shown a few videos of her making the mittens in the process of like knitting them, and she picks up each color continental. So when I knit color work, I usually do like 1 continental and 1 English, so you can use both hands, and she only uses 1 hand. So I tried that at first and I realized that the pattern wasn't sticking out the way I like it to. Like the color work from the background color was sort of, the pattern wasn't showing up too well. So I've realized the best system for me for the 3 color work is to have the background color in 1 hand, and then the continental style ones will be the 2 like this neutral color and then the red color, so that it'll pop out and then the background color will stay in the background. I found that works best for me, and since I've knitted a few things regular like color work, 2 color work, this makes it really easy for me. I'm honestly not sure how Code of Mittens makes her mittens look so good. Like, if you've seen her Instagram, every single one of the mittens looks so good, and I'm so jealous of I think it's the Estonian yarn she uses. It's like Ade Long. I might have mentioned this in my last episode as well, but the obsession is not over. But I do find that this Shetland wool is actually pretty good. I think I felt the Jamieson's Shetland 2-ply wool before, and I found it really, really scratchy. But this one I find is very plush and is very woolly, but it isn't scratchy at all. It feels, I don't want to say soft, but like it's not scratchy at all. And I wouldn't say I'm like super sensitive, but I don't like scratchy wool, and this is like a perfect medium where the wool is super grippy and I've never done color work with like grippy wool before, and my goodness, is it so much easier, especially when catching the floats on the inside. I don't know if you can see them, but even the long floats are really easy to catch and not pull on too tight because it's like gripping to the back. And so yeah, it just makes the tension really even, and I think it looks really great. This side, it also has a picot edge. I don't know if you can tell. It's very small. I haven't sewn it down yet. I'm kind of scared to because the stitches are so small. They're kind of hard to see. I don't know where exactly I'm sewing, so I don't know. I'll get there when I get there. But the backside has the 2 flowers, and I love this motif so much. I think it's so pretty. I'm debating whether to do, for the thumb gusset, a like where you cast off and then cast on stitches in the next row, or to do a, what do you call it, where you like put in a piece of yarn and then you take it out later. Provisional something? I don't know. But I'm thinking about also doing that, but I feel like I've seen most people cast off and then pick up. So I don't know what the best way to do it is. Let me know if you've ever knitted Latvian mittens, what your advice is. But yeah, I'm super happy with these. And I do find I did have like a little debate in my mind about whether to use magic loop or DPNs, because I know a lot of people for Latvian mittens use DPNs, so I was wondering whether or not using magic loop would be a bad idea. And magic loop is perfectly fine. I have had no problems with it, and I think if you're used to magic loop for like socks and stuff like that, you should probably use magic loop for this. It's no different, and the 3-color work, it's like catching floats on the side, I find aren't that bad, so I would totally give this a try. It's way easier than you may think it is. My hands are pretty small, so I don't know if that's helps with these smaller needles, but I've been having a lot of fun, and hopefully these will get done soon. I really love working on them. They're really addictive because I love seeing the pattern come together. Oh, I just like looking at it in the viewfinder too. Isn't it so cute? Anyways, enough talking about those mittens. Her pattern is on Etsy only, so I'll leave that in the link below, as well as the colors for the yarn, because I do forget, and hopefully I can find that. If not, they really only have like a few like reds, so you should probably be able to find it. But anyways, enough talking. Next whip that I'll talk about is one, it's in this bag actually. I've showed it in a lot of episodes because I don't know, it's been kind of slow going, but I sat down the other day and just pumped out the body. I just sped through the body. Is that? I don't know. Anyways, the body is so close to being done. So close. This is my Northern Augustins number 7. It's knit with Santa's Garne Sunday and drops Kid Silk. I'll leave the colors again down below. It's by GK, or how do you say it? I don't know, it's a Northern Augustins pattern. And I finished the body. Well, actually, I'm just binding off right now. I'm doing I always forget whether it's an Italian or tubular bind off if you do the like slip stitch 2 rows. And I'm doing that because I really like the way it looks finished, and I think it feels sturdier to me, and I always really like it. So that's what I'm working on right now. But here it is. Very, very cute. I'm super excited to be able to wear it because obviously the colder months are coming eventually. When I go back to Japan later, it's still gonna be hot. It doesn't get cold there until like late October, November-ish, so it kind of feels weird, but I'm hoping it gets cold now because I want to wear it now. But yeah, there's that. So that was my second whip. Oh, actually, did I say I have 3 whips? Because I have 3 whips. My third whip is this sock It's not that interesting, I feel like. It's using Mayflower yarn, I believe. I got it on Linda Hobby quite a while ago. It's this like grayish blue color. It has a short row heel. It's got this waffle stitch. And yeah, that's kind of it. I'm freehanding the pattern. I've seen other people knit a sock very similar to this. I'm not sure if they've used a pattern or freehanded it themselves. I have no idea. But one thing that's new to me is a short row heel. I've never done a short row heel. I've only done heel flap and gusset. I thought that was like the best heel, so I just like kind of kept doing it. I was like, for this one, I felt like if I did a heel flap and gusset, it would kind of take away from the waffle stitch, and I kind of wanted it to be plain. So this is the plainest thing that I could come up with. I am realizing now that I could do a heel flap and gusset that's just like stockinette, and then you don't have to do like a slip stitch. So I guess I didn't really think of that, but honestly this was kind of fun. I really enjoyed making it, and it fits really well once I've tried it on. Honestly, I don't find anything wrong with it, so maybe in the future I'll make more short row heels. I do really like this long 2x2 ribbing. I feel like it's really cute, and I would totally recommend this sort of like waffle stitch for, I guess, semi-beginners, because it looks complicated, but it's super easy and it's super fast. Sometimes I do want like really complicated lace and cabled socks, and then sometimes I want something that's gonna be really easy and that I can like do with my eyes closed, basically. So that was this project. I made this on the train to the airport when I left college, so for vacation. So that's, I got about like here done. On the flight back, I mostly slept because it was a night flight and I needed to sleep. And obviously, when I got on the plane, I didn't sleep. So, you know, I like kind of just like closed my eyes and tried to sleep. But anyways, that was this sock. Nothing too exciting. Hopefully it'll look more pleasant when it's blocked, because I feel like this isn't very cute. That was my last whip, I believe. And now I'll get to talking about flock. So I went to flock on Sunday, so the second, or technically the third day of flock, but the second day of the marketplace. And I was expecting it to be really, really busy, lots of people, and there were lots of people, but it wasn't as busy as I thought. I thought there might have been like a line out the door or anything like that, but nothing. Super easy to get in. The convention center, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I've never been in such a nice convention center, and it was super fun. I got to walk around. I went with my mom, so she likes to sew, but she doesn't really know. She doesn't knit herself. I mean, she can, but she isn't really like into it. We kind of just walked around, and I did pick up 2 things basically, and I'm honestly not the biggest like hand-dyed yarn person, especially because the price is a lot higher than like commercially made yarn, which is like totally fine. I mean, I think they should charge, you know, it's hand-dyed, so that makes sense. But I'm not one for like variegated yarn, but I did find a lot of pretty yarn, but it was really expensive, so I only bought a few things, but I'm really happy with the things that I did purchase, so I will share that. So the first thing I bought were these stitch markers. Now, I did have 3 of them, and I'll put a picture here, but I can't find the third one. And that was like a week ago that I bought them, so I'm sure they're here. Like, I didn't take it outside the house. I know it's somewhere, I just need to like find it. But anyways, there are these wooden stitch markers by Making Treasures. It looks like this. They're like little postage stamps. And then there's one on my Northern Augustins, if I can find it. Here it is. They're little flowers. Ooh, super cute. And then the other one was another flower, but I'll have to find that. They're super cute. They're wooden, so I've never had a wooden stitch marker. There were a ton of glass stitch markers, which I was really, really tempted to get, and I didn't end up buying them. I'm not really sure why. But the second thing that I bought was this yarn. I bought 2 skeins of. It is by Crayola. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. It's a very light pink color. It's in their Twisted Sister fingering 2-ply, 85% merino wool, and 15% mulberry silk. And it's 100 grams for 490 yards. So yeah, it's really cute. Super, super soft. She was really nice. I ended up originally, I also have it skeined up or wound up. I originally bought this in 2 different colors to hopefully make socks, and then I ended up changing my mind because I'm so indecisive, and I went back. I was like, hi, can I like change it to 2 pinks instead of 2 different colors? And she said yes, so forever thankful to her. I am planning on making some sort of fingering weight top. I did see that literally today. My Favorite Things Knitwear posted a her all over cabled like sweater 28, 29 in a shirt form. I'm not really sure if that's gonna be fingering weight or not. I can't really tell, but there's also a pattern by Lil Frost that I saw that I really, really liked. I'll put a picture here. I saw it, I think, on Pinterest, I believe. She's a Norwegian designer, I think, and most of her patterns are not in English, and they're on this like website that I've never heard of. But I did see, I think, Knits by Wilma. She also posts on YouTube, and she made I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce it because I've so bad. It's like the Soul Yake or something. It's very cute. It's like got this cables and it ties up like a little robe. I really like it, and I recognize that pattern. But she also has this like tank top with these cables down the front, and I thought it was really cute and that it would be cute under like this cardigan, for example. So I'm either gonna make that or the twist loop top, kind of thinking about that too. I'm really worried though that I don't like the armhole situation. I really don't like the sort of like, do you call it like the racer back look? Where it like really goes like that, if you know what I mean. I feel like it's very unflattering on my body, and I don't really like that. Yeah, I'll have to gauge swatch and see what patterns I could be making. Hopefully, I'll probably end up making the Lil Frost pattern, and if the gauge is not correct, I'll make the twist loop top probably, because I feel like it'd be really cute under some cardigans that I already have. And I think that is about it for all of my knitting that I've done since I've gone on break. I have more plans soon. I did win a I don't know how to say their yarn brand, which is like kind of sad, but I really like their yarn. Owenling. It's another Danish brand, and they had this like summer postcard competition a few weeks back, and I posted my Latvian Mittens with their like hashtag or something, and I won, so that's pretty cool. I get a gift card, so I'll definitely be spending a lot of my own money too, probably, to make something, but I'll keep you updated on that, and I'll definitely have that by my next podcast, and hopefully more finished objects. I've been doing a lot of sewing, but I think I'm getting a little sewing burnt out because when I start sewing, I sew so much that I kind of just burn myself out a little bit. So I think I'll go on a little bit of a sewing break and get back more into knitting and finish up a lot of projects that I have. But yeah, that's it for this episode, I think. Bye!